20 black lesbian stars you didn't know about that will shock you. What if we told you that some of the most iconic black celebrities have been breaking barriers not just in entertainment, but in love? From surprise weddings to powerful coming-out moments, these women have shattered stereotypes and inspired millions, without always making the headlines. In a world where being both black and queer still comes with challenges, these stars have boldly embraced their truth and, in doing so, paved the way for others. In this video, we're uncovering the untold stories of 20 black lesbian stars you probably didn't know about. Some have lived quietly, others have gone viral, but all of them share one thing: the strength to live authentically. Whether they're Grammy winners, TV legends, or indie heroes, their love stories deserve to be seen and celebrated. Stick around, because the names on this list might surprise you, and their journeys will absolutely move you. Wanda Sykes. Wanda Sykes isn't just one of the funniest comedians of our time, she's also one of the most powerful voices in the black LGBTQ+ community. Known for her razor-sharp wit and fearless commentary, Wanda spent years making people laugh without revealing one crucial part of her identity: she was gay. In 2008, during a rally in Las Vegas protesting California's Proposition 8, which sought to ban same-sex marriage, Wanda did something she hadn't done publicly before: she came out. She didn't just come out as a lesbian, she proudly announced that she was married to her partner, Alex Needbalski, a woman she had met 2 years earlier on a ferry ride. That spontaneous moment of activism became a life-changing declaration of love and truth. For years, Wanda had kept her personal life private. She said she never felt the need to announce her sexuality, until that moment when silence no longer felt right. Her coming out was not just about herself, it was a powerful statement against injustice and a call for equality. Since then, Wanda and Alex have built a beautiful life together. They got married in 2008 and are now raising 2 children, Olivia and Lucas, born in 2009. Despite being a celebrity, Wanda keeps her family life relatively low-key, but she never shies away from speaking up for LGBTQ+ rights. Lena Waithe. Lena Waithe isn't just a writer or actress, she's a cultural force, reshaping Hollywood from the inside out. As one of the most visible black queer creatives working today, Lena has carved out a space that once didn't exist, and she's doing it on her own terms. She first grabbed mainstream attention with her role in Master of None, but it was her Emmy win for writing the episode, Thanksgiving, that truly made history. The episode, which follows a black girl coming out to her family over several Thanksgivings, was deeply personal, based on Lena's own experience. It marked the first time a black woman won an Emmy for comedy writing, and Lena used her acceptance speech to celebrate the LGBTQ+ community, encouraging others to embrace their truth. But Lena's impact goes far beyond accolades. Through her work on the Chi, 20s, and numerous behind-the-scenes roles, she's pushing to increase representation of queer black characters, not as side notes, but as leads, heroes, and fully complex humans. She said she never wanted to hide who she was, and instead made her identity central to her storytelling. Waithe also challenges outdated norms when it comes to style, gender presentation, and what it means to be feminine in Hollywood. Her sharp suits, confident stance, and unapologetic energy have turned her into an icon not just for queer audiences, but for anyone demanding space in a world that often denies it. Raven-Symoné. Raven-Symoné grew up in the spotlight, but for much of her life, she was quietly wrestling with a truth the world didn't see. Best known for her roles on The Cosby Show and That's So Raven, Raven was a Disney darling whose bubbly on-screen persona masked a more complex inner journey. Despite her fame, Raven kept her private life shielded for years. While she knew she was attracted to women from a young age, she avoided labels and steered clear of the media's curiosity. It wasn't until 2013, with a simple tweet celebrating the legalization of same-sex marriage, that she began publicly acknowledging her sexuality. Even then, she didn't define herself by any specific identity, instead choosing to live authentically without explanation. The world learned more in 2020, when Raven surprised fans by announcing her marriage to Miranda Mayday. The two held a small, intimate ceremony and shared the news with a heartfelt Instagram post. It was a soft but powerful moment, one of joy, freedom, and quiet revolution. What sets Raven apart is how she's navigated fame without allowing it to define her relationships. She once said, "My sexual orientation is mine and the person I'm with," emphasizing that love, for her, exists beyond public validation or media narratives. Niecy Nash. Niecy Nash has always been a scene stealer, whether she's delivering gut-busting laughs in Reno 911, or commanding attention with raw emotion in Claws. But in 2020, she took center stage in a way no one saw coming, by marrying singer Jessica Betts and introducing the world to a new, deeply personal side of herself. For most of her career, Niecy was known for her glamorous red carpet looks, comedic timing, and 2 previous marriages to men. So when she posted wedding photos in a white gown, hand in hand with Jessica, the internet erupted. Many didn't even know she identified as queer, and that was the point. Niecy didn't come out in the traditional sense. Instead, she described the marriage not as a revelation of her sexuality, but as a celebration of her soulmate. What makes Niecy's story remarkable is how it redefines visibility. She didn't feel the need to make a grand political statement, her joy was the statement. She claimed love on her own terms, breaking boundaries not through speeches, but through authentic happiness. Off-screen, Niecy has said that her relationship with Jessica is the healthiest she's ever had. Their union radiates affection, laughter, and shared creativity. Jessica even serenaded Niecy at their wedding, and the two have since become one of the most inspiring Black queer couples in the public eye. Amandla Stenberg. Amandla Stenberg has never played by the rules, and that's exactly what makes them one of the most influential young voices of their generation. Rising to fame as Rue in The Hunger Games, Amandla quickly transitioned from teen star to cultural disruptor, using their platform to challenge norms around gender, sexuality, and Black identity. At just 17, Amandla came out as bisexual in a Teen Vogue video, speaking with poise and vulnerability. But that was only the beginning. In the years that followed, they would come to identify as non-binary and queer, embracing a fluid understanding of self that defied binary expectations. They now use they/them pronouns and advocate fiercely for the rights of LGBTQ+ youth. Their relationship with singer King Princess, though short-lived, made headlines and offered rare mainstream visibility for queer couples of color. But Amandla has never let their love life define them. Instead, they channel their truth into their work, whether it's portraying complex queer characters in films like The Hate U Give or speaking out on stages about intersectionality and identity. At 26, Amandla has already become a role model for Gen Z, embodying authenticity without apology. They've said that growing up in the public eye made their journey more difficult, but also gave them a sense of duty, to be the representation they never saw as a child. Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah has been a powerhouse for decades, a rapper, actress, producer, and trailblazer who has long commanded respect in every corner of the entertainment industry. But while she's made a career out of speaking boldly, when it came to her personal life, she remained famously private. For years, rumors swirled about her relationships, but she kept that part of herself out of the spotlight, until she didn't. In 2021, during her BET Lifetime Achievement Award speech, Latifah closed with 2 simple but seismic words, "Ebony, my love." It was the first time she publicly acknowledged her long-rumored partner, dancer and choreographer Ebony Nichols. For fans who had waited decades for her to speak her truth, it was a quiet, powerful moment of visibility. Their love story, though kept mostly private, is believed to have started years earlier. Whispers of their relationship grew louder after they were frequently spotted together at events, and even more so after reports surfaced that Ebony had given birth to a child they're now raising together. Still, Latifah never felt the need to officially come out. Her actions, and her love spoke volumes. Queen Latifah's decision to share her truth on her own terms reflects the strength she's always shown in her career. She sets her own narrative. She doesn't conform. And in doing so, she gives countless others permission to do the same. Tessa Thompson. Tessa Thompson has built a career on playing multidimensional, boundary-pushing characters, and her real life isn't any less bold. Whether she's wielding a sword as Valkyrie in Marvel's Thor, Ragnarok, or exploring surreal intimacy in Westworld, Tessa brings nuance and confidence to every role she inhabits. Off-screen, she's just as fearless. In 2018, Tessa opened up publicly about her sexuality, sharing that she's attracted to both men and women and that she loves freely. Her words weren't a formal coming out, but rather a gentle unveiling, one that emphasized fluidity over definition. She explained that her identity had never been something she felt she needed to declare, until she realized how powerful visibility can be. Much attention was given to her close connection with singer Janelle Monáe, especially after Tessa appeared in several of Janelle's music videos, including the critically acclaimed Dirty Computer. While neither of them explicitly confirmed a relationship, their chemistry and mutual admiration sparked widespread conversation around Black queer love in pop culture. What sets Tessa apart is how she resists the need for neat categorization. She speaks openly about how her family's unconditional support gave her the confidence to live authentically, without apology. For her, queerness isn't about labels, it's about love, expression, and freedom. Angel Hayes. Angel Hayes defies every box the world has tried to place them in, whether it's gender, genre, or identity. As a rapper, poet, and unapologetic truth-teller, Angel has used their art to carve out a space for those who live beyond binaries. Identifying as a gender and pansexual, Angel doesn't subscribe to traditional ideas of masculinity, femininity, or whom they're supposed to love. For them, attraction is about connection, not categories. Their openness has made them a bold presence in both the music industry and the LGBTQ+ community, especially for young people who feel unseen in mainstream narratives. Angel's relationship with model Ireland Baldwin became public in 2014, and though the romance eventually ended, their time together was a watershed moment in queer visibility. The two shared their love openly, posting candid moments and calling out media outlets that tried to treat their relationship like a novelty. Angel refused to let their identity, or their love, be misunderstood or sensationalized. Beyond relationships, Angel's lyrics explore trauma, mental health, and survival. Their 2012 mixtape Reservation and 2013 debut album Dirty Gold feature raw, unfiltered storytelling that speaks to those living at the intersections of race, gender, and queerness. They don't just perform, they purge. Angel Hayes isn't looking for mainstream approval, they're looking for truth. And by embracing their most authentic self, they've become a mirror for those who are still figuring it out. Samira Wiley. Samira Wiley didn't just break out on Orange is the New Black. She became an emblem of resilience, joy, and queer love in full bloom. Her portrayal of Pussy Washington was heartbreaking and unforgettable, but what truly resonated was the quiet strength she brought to the screen, a reflection of her real-life journey. Behind the scenes, Samira found love in a place most wouldn't expect, the writer's room. Lauren Morelli, a writer on OITNB, began questioning her own sexuality while crafting queer storylines for the show. As she navigated that realization, a friendship with Samira blossomed into something deeper. Eventually, Lauren ended her previous marriage and embraced her truth, with Samira by her side. The two married in 2017 in a stunning, vibrant ceremony that celebrated not only their union but their individual growth. Their love story has been hailed as one of the most beautiful and genuine in Hollywood, not just because of how it began, but because of how fiercely they protect and uplift each other. Samira has since continued to speak out about the importance of representation, particularly for queer women of color. She has become a voice of comfort and confidence, showing that authenticity isn't just possible, it's powerful. Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe is known for redefining what it means to be an artist, a genre-blending singer, award-winning actress, and unapologetic visionary. But behind the captivating performances and futuristic fashion, she's also one of the most openly fluid Black stars in the entertainment industry today. In April 2018, during an interview with Rolling Stone, Janelle publicly came out as pansexual. She explained, "Being a queer Black woman in America, someone who has been in relationships with both men and women, I consider myself to be a free-ass mother ******. Originally identifying as bisexual, she later realized that pansexuality, the capacity to love regardless of gender, more accurately reflected her experience. Janelle's declaration was groundbreaking not just for its honesty but for the timing. She came out just before releasing her third studio album, Dirty Computer, a bold project celebrating queer identity, freedom, and nonconformity. The album debuted at number 6 on the Billboard 200 and was later nominated for Album of the Year at the 2019 Grammy Awards. Her rumored romantic relationship with actress Tessa Thompson further sparked public interest and admiration. Though neither has confirmed the relationship outright, Tessa appeared in Monáe's music videos, Make Me Feel and PYNK, both visual celebrations of queer intimacy. Their closeness became a powerful symbol of Black queer love in pop culture. By embracing pansexuality in such a public and artistic way, Janelle Monáe helped bring visibility to an often misunderstood identity. She isn't just a performer, she's a movement, challenging societal norms one song, one look, and one bold statement at a time. Felicia Pearson. Felicia "Snoop" Pearson is perhaps best known for her chillingly authentic portrayal of Snoop on HBO's The Wire, a character so raw and real that Entertainment Weekly once called her one of the scariest female villains in television history. But beyond the screen, Felicia's real-life story is just as complex and deeply inspiring. Born on May 18, 1980, in Baltimore, Maryland, Felicia entered the world under difficult circumstances. Her parents were drug addicts, and she was raised in foster care. At age 14, she was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 8 years in prison, serving 6.5 before her release. It was in prison that Felicia began to reflect on her life and embrace her identity, including her sexuality. Felicia has long identified as lesbian and has never shied away from discussing her experiences as a masculine-presenting woman navigating both the streets and the entertainment industry. In interviews, she's spoken candidly about being openly gay in an environment where that wasn't always safe. She's also expressed how her tough exterior often masked her vulnerability, especially in love. She famously dated Dutch singer-songwriter Lauren England, and her love life has occasionally made headlines. But more importantly, Felicia uses her platform to advocate for LGBTQ+ youth, particularly those coming from underserved, urban communities. Her memoir, Grace After Midnight, details her struggles and transformation, offering hope to those facing similar battles. Gina Yasher. Gina Yasher may be a comedy sensation in both the UK and the US, but her path to visibility as a Black lesbian comedian has been anything but easy. Born in Bethnal Green, London to Nigerian parents, Gina grew up in a strict, religious household where being queer wasn't just taboo, it was unspeakable. As a teenager, Gina knew she was attracted to women, but it took years to find the confidence to live openly. Coming from a deeply conservative cultural background, she faced pressure not just from society at large, but also from within her own home. Despite those obstacles, Gina eventually came out and embraced her identity, not quietly, but with a loud, comedic roar. Her stand-up career began in the UK, where she became the first British comic to perform on Def Comedy Jam. She later moved to America, where she gained even more prominence as a recurring guest on The Daily Show and co-creator, writer, and star of Bob Hart's Abishala, the first American sitcom to feature a Nigerian family. Gina has always infused her comedy with her personal truth, fearlessly discussing everything from racism and immigration to her sexuality and relationships. Currently, she is in a long-term relationship with Nina Rose Fisher, a professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York City. Gina often shares glimpses of their life together on social media, offering a refreshing view of queer Black love that's rarely spotlighted in mainstream media. Through wit, wisdom, and brutal honesty, Gina Yasher has carved out a unique voice, one that uplifts, entertains, and unapologetically represents the intersections of being Black, lesbian, and proudly Nigerian British. Tracy Chapman. Tracy Chapman is a name synonymous with soulful songwriting and social consciousness. Her 1988 hit, Fast Car, became a timeless anthem, earning her multiple Grammy Awards and a lasting place in music history. But beyond the stage lights, Tracy has lived a life of profound privacy, especially when it comes to her identity as a lesbian. Born on March 30, 1964, in Cleveland, Ohio, Tracy grew up in modest conditions and used her music as a tool for activism, often singing about poverty, injustice, and the human condition. While she's always been intensely private, it is widely known that Tracy identifies as a lesbian and had a romantic relationship with celebrated author Alice Walker, best known for The Color Purple, during the mid-1990s. Neither Tracy nor Alice spoke much about their relationship at the time, but Walker later confirmed it in interviews, describing their connection as loving and deeply meaningful. At a time when few Black women in the spotlight were openly queer, their relationship quietly challenged norms and inspired others. Tracy has never made public statements about her sexuality, choosing instead to let her music and actions speak. She's long supported LGBTQ+ rights and various humanitarian causes, including AIDS awareness and youth education programs. Her reticence has often been interpreted not as secrecy, but as a form of resistance, a refusal to be reduced to a label in a world obsessed with categorization. Even today, Tracy Chapman remains an icon not only for her voice but for her integrity. In an era of oversharing, she reminds us that queerness doesn't have to come with a press release. Sometimes, it's simply lived, quietly and with dignity. Jessica Betts. Jessica Betts is a soulful singer-songwriter who had spent years flying under the radar, until her unexpected and beautiful love story with actress Niecy Nash thrust her into the spotlight in 2020. For many, it was the first time they'd heard of Jessica, but her career had already spanned over 2 decades, marked by undeniable talent and a deep emotional resonance in her music. Jessica first gained national attention by winning the road to stardom with Missy Elliott in 2005. She went on to release a string of R&B and soul records, blending gospel-inflected vocals with raw, vulnerable songwriting. But it wasn't until her marriage to Nash, an actress previously married twice to men, that the world took a closer look at her artistry and authenticity. Their wedding announcement came as a surprise. Shared via Instagram with the caption, Mrs. Carol Denise Betts, the post instantly went viral. For many fans, it was also the first time they learned that Niecy identified as queer, and Jessica stood proudly at the center of that revelation. The two had been close friends for years before their relationship turned romantic, proving that sometimes, the deepest love starts with friendship. What makes Jessica's presence so impactful is the visibility she brings to masculine-presenting Black queer women, a group still often overlooked in media. Through her music and relationship, she's helped redefine what queer Black love can look like: soft, powerful, joyful, and free. Azie Marie Livingston. Azie Marie Livingston has always stood out, not just for her androgynous beauty and signature buzz cut, but for the bold, unshakable energy she brings to everything she does. Model, actress, and recording artist, Azie Marie carved out her own lane in an industry that rarely makes space for queer Black women, and she did it on her own terms. Born in California, AZ Marie gained mainstream recognition as a standout contestant on America's Next Top Model, British Invasion, Cycle 18, in 2012. Her presence immediately defied fashion norms, masculine yet elegant, edgy but effortlessly graceful. Though she didn't win the competition, she became a fan favorite and continued to book high-profile modeling gigs, later transitioning into music and acting. She appeared in the Fox series Empire as Chicken, a queer, stylish side character that resonated strongly with LGBTQ+ viewers. But off-screen, AZ Marie was living just as authentically. She openly identifies as lesbian and has always expressed comfort in her masculinity and individuality. AZ Marie was in a high-profile relationship with Raven-Symoné, and the two were together for several years, a pairing that received considerable attention due to both women's fame and visibility. Though the relationship ended, it played an important role in queer representation, especially for young black girls who rarely saw couples like them in the public eye. In her music and interviews, AZ Marie often speaks about identity, rejection, and finding empowerment through self-acceptance. She doesn't ask for approval, she simply lives out loud, challenging traditional gender roles with grace and confidence. Kiersey Clemons. Kiersey Clemons is part of a new wave of Hollywood talent, multi-hyphenate, boundary-pushing, and unapologetically queer. Known for her roles in films like Dope, Hearts Beat Loud, and The Flash, Kiersey brings emotional nuance to every character she plays. But her off-screen identity is just as powerful as her performances. Kiersey publicly identifies as queer, embracing a fluid understanding of both gender and sexuality. She's spoken openly in interviews about the importance of visibility, especially for black queer women who rarely see themselves reflected honestly on screen. "I'm very unapologetic about who I am," she told Refinery29, emphasizing that her queerness isn't something she hides or tones down for Hollywood's comfort. Beyond her acting work, Kiersey is also a singer and producer. Her voice, both literal and symbolic, is central to her artistic mission. She doesn't limit herself creatively or personally and is vocal about the need for inclusive storytelling across all genres. In her personal life, Kiersey has been in a relationship with Ebony De La Haye, a professional stunt performer. The couple has occasionally shared moments of their love on social media, quietly but confidently representing queer intimacy in a world still catching up. Kiersey's ability to live authentically, without shrinking herself to fit traditional molds, makes her a role model for young queer people, especially those navigating both Black and LGBTQ+ identities. She doesn't just play brave characters, she is one. Robin Roberts. Robin Roberts is a household name, an award-winning journalist, longtime Good Morning America anchor, and cancer survivor whose resilience has inspired millions. But what many people didn't know until 2013 was that she is also a proud lesbian, and had been in a loving relationship for nearly a decade before publicly sharing it. Robin met Amber Lane, a licensed massage therapist, in 2005. For years, the couple maintained their relationship privately, even as Robin became one of the most recognizable faces in broadcast news. In December 2013, Robin made a quiet but powerful post on Facebook, thanking her longtime girlfriend, Amber, for her support during Robin's battle with myelodysplastic syndrome, a rare blood disorder she was diagnosed with in 2012. The post marked Robin's first public acknowledgement of her sexuality, and it was met with widespread support and praise. She later explained that she had no regrets about keeping her personal life private for so long, but felt the time had come to fully live in her truth. Since then, Robin and Amber have become one of the most admired LGBTQ+ couples in the public eye. Their love has been featured in documentaries, interviews, and even a children's book written about Robin's life. In January 2023, Robin announced on GMA that she and Amber were planning to get married, and they tied the knot in September of that year after 18 years together. Da Brat. For decades, Da Brat kept the world guessing. With her baggy clothes, tough demeanor, and undeniable flow, she was the first female solo rapper to go platinum, thanks to her 1994 debut album Functified. But behind the braggadocio and beats, Shantae Harris was hiding a truth she didn't feel safe to share: she was in love with women. For most of her career, Da Brat avoided questions about her personal life. In a 2020 interview with Variety, she admitted that growing up in a religious, Southern household, combined with the hypermasculine world of hip-hop, made her fear rejection from fans and family alike. "I've always felt like being private is the better way to go," she said, "but now I'm happy to speak my truth." That shift happened in March 2020 when Da Brat confirmed her relationship with Jessica "Judy" Dupart, the CEO of Kaleidoscope Hair Products. The two made their relationship Instagram official with a heartfelt post and later appeared on reality TV together. In February 2022, they married in an emotional ceremony in Georgia, after years of quietly building a life together. In 2023, the couple announced they were expecting a child, and in July, they welcomed a baby boy, a moment that felt full circle for a woman who once feared she'd never live out loud. Jessica Nicole. Jessica Nicole is proof that visibility doesn't always have to come with a spotlight. Sometimes it comes through quiet consistency, authentic storytelling, and radical honesty. Best known for her role as Astrid Farnsworth on Fringe, Jessica has quietly become a queer icon for fans craving representation that feels real and rooted. A multi-talented actress, artist, and DIY enthusiast, Jessica has always worn her identities proudly. She publicly identifies as lesbian and biracial, and has long spoken about how those intersecting experiences shape her life and her work. She once told Autostraddle, "I've never been in the closet, not at work, not at school, not at home." Jessica met her partner, Claire J. Savage, before fame found her. Claire is a multimedia artist and virtual reality creator, and the two share a deeply creative bond. They married in 2013 and have been together for over a decade, a rare example of a long-lasting queer relationship in Hollywood that has remained strong and mostly out of the tabloid spotlight. Nicole has also been critical of the lack of depth in queer roles for women of color. She's turned down parts she felt were stereotypical or exploitative, choosing instead to pursue work that aligns with her values. She lent her voice to queer-focused projects like The Fosters and appeared in podcasts and animated shows where she could portray characters that break the mold. Through her artistry, Jessica Nicole challenges the idea that visibility must be loud to be impactful. Her presence, steady, thoughtful, and uncompromising, is a beacon for those who want to live truthfully, even when the world isn't watching. Dee Rees. Dee Rees is one of the most powerful voices in modern cinema, a director and screenwriter whose work redefines what it means to tell Black, queer, and deeply human stories. But her journey to becoming one of the most respected auteurs in Hollywood is rooted in personal struggle, resilience, and radical self-acceptance. Born on February 7, 1977, in Nashville, Tennessee, Dee initially worked in marketing before pursuing filmmaking at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts. It was there that she created Pariah, a semi-autobiographical short film that evolved into a 2011 feature-length masterpiece. Pariah follows a 17-year-old Black girl navigating her sexual identity in a conservative household, a story that closely mirrors Dee's own experience coming out as a lesbian to a family that struggled to accept her. The film was a critical success, earning awards at Sundance and an Independent Spirit Award nomination. More importantly, it became a landmark moment in queer Black cinema, offering visibility and authenticity to an audience long denied it. Dee later directed Mudbound, 2017, which made her the first Black woman nominated for an Oscar in Best Adapted Screenplay. Off-screen, Dee lives in Harlem with her wife, acclaimed author Sarah Emma Broom, winner of the National Book Award for The Yellow House. The two creatives share not only a home but a vision of storytelling rooted in truth, vulnerability, and resistance. Dee has spoken about how her parents sent her Bible verses after she came out, hoping to fix her, a painful but common reality for many LGBTQ+ youth. But instead of retreating, she transformed that pain into art, giving voice to those who are often silenced. These stories prove that being true to yourself is the greatest act of excellence. From private battles to public triumphs, these legends have redefined what it means to live boldly and love freely. If you were inspired by their journeys, share this video with someone who needs to see it. And don't forget to subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence for more powerful stories that celebrate authenticity, resilience, and Black brilliance. Hit that bell so you never miss a moment. Until next time, keep shining, keep speaking your truth, and stay legendary.